Alright guys, I'm back here again, this time with the review of Dio's The Last in Line. And man, what an album. I mean, what a... Dio kicked off with a bang with his first album and then just keeps it rolling with The Last in Line. And we'll go into the track listing here. It starts off with We Rock, which is a fast-paced opener. It seems like, just like the first album, Dio likes to start the albums off with a big, fast-paced, kicking opening track, just to start things off, which I think is, in any record, a good way to... You gotta have an opener that sets the tone for what the record's gonna be about, and I think We Rock is a great one. Easily one of my favorite Dio openers in his entire discography. Then the second track, The Last in Line. And man, I mean, this one was a big hit, and it's one of those ones, kind of like I said in Holy Diver. The song Holy Diver is still really badass. I love it, despite it being, an overplayed track. This one's not as overplayed or anything, and I do like this song better than the song Holy Diver. Beautiful opening, and then it just kicks into gear with Ronnie's howling vocals. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this album came out in, 84, I think? Yeah, 1984. Then the third track, Breathless, is heavy. I mean, there's some heavy riffs on this album. Vivian really shows off. He's just progressing as a guitar player, because, the riffs on this album as well as the soloing are just impeccable compared to any of his other, albums that he did with Dio, in my opinion. But Breathless, great track. Then I Speed at Night, another little quick one, fast one. Great track, probably not one of my favorites on the album. One Night in the City closes side one, which is actually one of my favorites. It's got a good groove to it, killer solo from Vivian, and just even the outro, Ronnie's just kind of ad-libbing the vocals there at the end. It's just killing it. Side two starts off with the track Evil Eyes, which I've always dug. I love every song off this album. I've always dug it, but after I just was listening to this album again for the probably billionth time, this in particular, this listen though, Evil Eyes really stood out to me as one of the better tracks on this album. Then you've got the more upbeat and more poppy, which isn't a bad thing. Mystery, which is a great track. You would later on see Dio kind of try to repeat the formula of having one of those, like on Sacred Heart. He has a track, which is the album after this that I'll be doing the review of. He has a track that sounds a lot like Mystery on there. Eat Your Heart Out would be the next track, and another great, just heavy riffing track. And man, just track after track, this thing is it just kills it, knocks it out of the park. And then the final track, possibly my favorite on the album, Egypt, The Chains Are On. That album, it's got that real good bass groove with without guitar, kind of like the song Heaven and Hell, which I've always dug that when Dio has one of those tracks. It just got that bass groove, and he just is singing over it with the guitar absent in it, so you can really just get into the groove of it, and then the guitar kicks it back in on the chorus, and man, it's an epic, which Dio, just like my other review, he tends to, in my opinion, really thrive on those big, long, epic songs, and those grandiose songs that usually kind of come near the beginning, and then he'll throw one in at the end of his albums. So yeah, those two, I'd probably say, The Last in Line, One Night in the City, Egypt, and Evil Eyes are probably Breathless too, are probably some of my favorite tracks off this album. Really, the whole album is just incredible. What a way to just show, hey, I'm not a one and done. He's got a lot left in him, and you'll continue to see that throughout his discography, which is just incredible throughout, in my opinion. You'll see my opinions on his later albums as we continue on in this series, and then eventually rank them all. But yeah, that was my short little review here of Dio's Last in Line. And my next one will be Of course, his third studio album. Again, I will only be doing studio albums in EPs. I won't do all EPs. Like, for example, Dio, there is an EP called the Dio EP that it has like one track that wasn't Hide in the Rainbow, which was on a soundtrack. All the other tracks were already on previous albums, so like it's really not, it's more of a single in a way, or a greatest hits, mini greatest hits with one extra track. So I won't really do that, but an EP, an example of an EP I will throw in will be like Jar of Flies when I review Alice in Chains stuff. Jar of Flies is an EP that's just, you know, highly renowned as one of the greatest EPs of all time. Or like Steve Vai's Alien Love Secrets. I'll review that EP along with his discography and rank it among them. Because some EPs can really, in my opinion, stand up, you know, in the rankings and shine in rankings compared to even longer albums. But yeah, that's just kind of a heads up of how I'm going to treat that. Anyways, thanks for watching, and tune in to the next review on this epic Dio journey here. Sacred Heart will be coming up next. Thanks.